Hello everyone! Welcome on in. I'm MoonFauna, and for each Monster High video, I spin a wheel at the very end. And during the last video, we spun and got the ghouliest of ghouls, the daughter of the zombie, Ms. ghouliayelps. As always, I've made the base sims before because I'm slower than a zombie's heartbeat at doing so. As I get started, I just want to show you some of the skin details I've already selected. I used a zombie skin overlay that gets smoothed out from the saturnine face overlay, which I felt was perfect since Ghoulia doesn't really show any signs of decay. But for the Sims, I like the idea of a subtle hint to her being a zombie since we don't have the occult type. When it comes to monsters, I'm not always the biggest fan of zombies. The typical depiction of an animated body that is no longer the person followed by lots of violence isn't my favorite genre. When it comes to the zombie story, the true villain isn't the zombie. They're the victim, but a lot of media lacks the depth in showcasing the real villains and the problems that led to the zombies. But I digress, since the ghoul we're focusing on today isn't your standard zombie. I love 𝗙𝗶𝗃. I think she deserves so much more love than she gets. So let's talk about everything you need to know about Generation 1 ghouliayelps. She is named after Julia Phelps, who worked on the original Monster High pitch. Born on July 25th, this ghoulie is a Leo. Both her parents are zombies who work at the DMV, Department of Monster Vehicles. She is their youngest child. Monica is her older sister. Her best friend is Cleo Denial, and her current boyfriend is fellow zombie Slow-Mo. She might be limited by the speed of her walk, but her brain is the fastest out of everyone at Monster High. Top of the class, Fear Squad member, scorekeeper at Castball Games, comic book club president, Necrocon reporter, writer at the Gory Gazette, and Skulltimate Ruler Maze member. This ghoul can do it all. She writes and illustrates her own graphic novels. Outside being a genius inventor and top problem solver, she enjoys dodgeball, acting, and cosplays as Ghoulia's OC, the superhero Ms. Deadfast. Ms. Deadfast is based around the Deadfast comic about a zombie bitten by a radioactive hummingbird and gaining super speed. She's also on the Deadbait team. Get it? Debate, Deadbait. I love it. Could you imagine if she actually had super speed? She's already doing a million different things without it. As for her appearance, she has blue-gray skin, blue eyes, long light blue hair with darker blue streaks, gray streaks, red lipstick, and red nail polish. Unfortunately, the Sims hair colors are limited, so instead of light blue and dark highlights, I did the reverse. Then, when it comes to CC hair, Daylife Sims make some of my favorite hairs, and they all looked so good on her. I debated between a few of them, but this one with the side bangs fits her classic look the best, I think. However, finding a headband that didn't glitch with the hair and the highlights just took about forever. Thank goodness this one came in the right color. I've got to say, I never considered the design of her green headband and wish I knew more about the design choice. The green pops up in several of her designs, and then in G3 becomes an even more exaggerated color accessory, like with most of G3's ghouls and their designs. I get that her original design gives homage to the Thriller music video and the zombie costume design. Her overall aesthetic is rockabilly with scene characteristics, and the thick headbands were overwhelmingly everywhere in 2008, which is when Ghoulia was first trademarked, so it fits her design. But I just wonder, why the green? I thought maybe because the leaves on the cherries on her original shirt, but either way, I think it's a surprising choice. I don't hate it though, which is the surprising part for me. Now the pink earrings and necklace on the other hand, well, you'll see I didn't try very hard to include them for my sim. Instead, I loved these cherry earrings and thought they would pull her final outfit together. Now her glasses, I love them. They're stunning. So I had to find the exact CC for them, and I'll have the creator named in the CC list in the comments section and also on my Tumblr. They've made a bunch of Monster High outfits and accessories, so if you want a more accurate look, you can check them out for your Sims. Moreover, I knew I had a shirt with cherries on it. I just couldn't remember which shirt that was exactly. This is where I got lucky though, because a white tank top with cherries on it, perfection. I also knew I had accessory undershirts, and if you're wondering why she isn't wearing gloves, it's because the accessory shirt is from the gloves category, and I couldn't have both. It's not perfect, but I actually really love it. Overall, G1's outfit came together so quickly, especially in comparison to G3's. Additionally, I think she might be one of the prettiest Sims I've ever made, zombie or not. I love the other ghouls I've made. Well, maybe not G1 Dracula. I think I could probably do much better now. But what I'm saying is that out of the freaky fierce monsters I've made, so far Ghoulia takes the brains. Takes the cake. For her aspiration, I debated between nerd brain and computer whiz. And while it might have been fun to give her brains or nerd brain, I think the programming and gaming skills from the computer whiz aspirations fits her a little bit better. Then I gave her the traits genius and geek. I always give the ghouls likes, so I did my best to give her as many that matched her many activities as possible. You'll have to let me know if I missed anything that you think should be included. For her formal outfit, I wish I had that classic beehive hair like her Love's Not Dead doll. Like any of the ghouls in Fear Squad, I made their athletic wear, their uniform. I forgot her undershirt though for it. I love the slippers in her sleepwear. I did find another shirt with cherries on it, so I wanted to make it work for her party outfit. Her second party outfit is inspired by Ms. Deadfast. Yes, it's alpha hair, and I will be taking no notes because this was my favorite outfit to make. I think her swimwear is classic. For her hot weather, I found these shorts. I knew I needed to use them. And then for cold weather, I tried to use the classic elements from her original design. Moving on to G3 Ghoulia. And I'm mad at Mattel for this one. Ghoulia is no longer part of the core group. She doesn't speak zombie anymore, and now she's green. Frankie went from green to blue, Ghoulia blue-gray to green, and not to mention Laguna from blue to pink. And none of the reasoning makes sense, especially when you look at all the color changes that were done back and forth. Additionally, I loved the representation of a language barrier in the G1 episodes and Ghoulia being treated with inclusion and respect. Her friends learning her language and including her. I know a lot of people saw her as nonverbal, but I disagree since she spoke a language. I also don't think zombies were treated fairly in G1 and tended to be used as a punchline. I wanted to see Mattel redeem themselves in G3, and while there is a lot of inclusivity that I love, they missed the ball with the zombies. However, I liked the anxiety representation of Ghoulia herself, so at least they made up for some of how I was feeling for the lack of Ghoulia. Plus, her voice actor is Felicia Day, which feels like the only acceptable voice actress for her. Someone who loves games and comics as much as Ghoulia. So what else do we know about G3 Ghoulia? She is the smartest monster high ghoul who is top of the horror rule, the first zombie to do so. The academic pressure and some situational social pressures can trigger her anxiety monster and sometimes brain freeze. I think the show handles that really well. Instead of being scorekeeper, Ghoulia is now on the basketball team. She's a member of GWA, Ghoul Wraith Alliance, and she's in the board game club. This time around, not only is her brain fast, she now has lightning fast fingers, which she uses for gaming and coding. G1 Ghoulia got the famous scooter, but G3 has a skateboard, which helps her get around faster. She loves comics, dead fast, going to ZombieCon, and going to undead dance parties. This time around, her best boo isn't Cleo, but Laguna, and unfortunately, we never got to see a version of Slow-Mo. Then, like all of G3, Ghoulia likes singing, but only after overcoming her fear and brain freeze. As for her style, we haven't seen a lot of it. She has 3 dolls, and I honestly thought they were discontinuing her after her 2023 doll. But in November of 2025, they finally made another doll, a Buried Secrets tennis doll, and I really liked her redesign with turquoise and neon green hair. I wish in The Sims I could choose the hair color for every outfit as well as hairstyle, but alas, The Sims cast lacks a lot. It's gotten better over time, but I sure hope the next game, if it ever happens, has a better system from the get-go. Then again, at this point, I don't know if I would even play a new game because of evil corporations. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Back to Ghoulia's style. G1 was mainly rockabilly, but after watching the show and looking at her 3 dolls, I can't say the same for G3 Ghoulia. She mainly has a skater grunge style, but again, there's not a lot to go off of. What we can observe is the overly saturated colors and hard lean into pink and neon green accessories. Pink skirt or shorts, and then pink glasses, and even more pink accessories. Speaking of pink, I really wanted to use the business chic kit glasses on the spool because the shape was perfect, but I need them in hot pink instead of pastel. So if any of you know of a CC recolor, please let me know. G3 is described as pale green, lapis lazuli eyes, blue hair tied back in pigtails, and her online description says black eyeshadow, but in the cartoon it's blue and green, so I did that. And then pink lipstick. I had a hard time making G3's outfit. G1 was a lot easier. G3 felt so specific that I knew I wasn't going to be able to be accurate. Also, I loathe hats in The Sims 4. Particularly brimless and beanie hats. Why are they so high on the head? I loved that the slouchy beanie comes in gray, and I have some CC ones, but not in the right color. I'm just glad it worked with her CC hair. Finding a shirt was the hardest part. I knew I wanted her to have a hoodie or a shirt that I could use an accessory jacket with, so many attempts later, and with the magic of editing, I found a zombie shirt. So zombies represent. I think the blue and green colors really made it perfect for our ghoul. The other items weren't easy, but I think they all work in a way that has the essence of her design. For her aspirations and traits, I kept them the same as G1 since her goals and core characteristics haven't really changed. The same can be said for her likes, with some minor changes and adding media production, singing, and new colors to like. For her formal wear, I couldn't decide between this light pink or a hot pink, but went for the light since it looked more like brains to me. She's on the Caswell team, so athletic wear was easy. For sleepwear, look at the brain pants! Her party outfit, I loved this skirt and wanted to use the neon color more. G1 got a second outfit, so I gave G3 one. A bit more of a relaxed look than G1's. Swim is meh basic. Her hot weather look is my favorite. The skirt has a skateboard and the colors are an homage to G1's. Her cold weather is a more muted color than I think she would be given to wear, but I love the color and the design. Now, time to see these ghouls in action. The Sims has the perfect walk for them. I know the walk styles aren't everyone's favorite, but I love them and I kind of wish we had a few more of them. It adds to their characters and works perfectly in this situation. I was thinking about past Sims games and I played The Sims 3 obsessively, usually as a fairy with a huge garden. And if you play or played, you might know that if you had the Supernatural pack and it was a full moon, you had to beware of zombies, which was horrifying playing as a fairy. Not only did they claw their way out of the ground, but they would then destroy all your plants. I would build these fort-like fences around them and lock the gates. And if they bit you, you also turn into a zombie. Obviously. I know non-occult players have no interest, but I kind of miss the drama of it. Then again, I just love the occults. It's time to spin that wheel. Oh my goodness. It's our first monster. I'm a little nervous. Excited, but nervous. Mr. Deuce Gorian, son of Medusa. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know how I did and who you liked more. And until we meet again, goodbye for now.